Good morning. I was talking to a relative yesterday, and he quit following politics because he lost a friend that didn't agree with his politics. I don't have the details. I don't really want the details. I think it's sad that we as a larger community cannot agree to disagree. It confuses me that we can't agree to disagree. I used to have a debate, a discussion, whatever you want to call it. I used to have a fairly regular discussion about the Second Amendment, about marital licenses, a plethora of things, with a friend online. And she's very adamant in her belief system. She is very set in her belief system. I would say that she doesn't have a lot of elasticity in whether she can change her beliefs or not. Now, I think when you hit a certain age that you're kind of set. That's where the saying comes from, you're set in your ways. I think when you hit a certain age, your belief systems are more concrete than they were when you were younger. I think you still have to have room to grow. I still think that you should be able to listen to other people's opinion without being butthurt, without being indignant, without getting angry at the other person because they have a different opinion than yours. It's unless the other person is violating someone's rights, you can have a difference of opinion without being so adamant about your own that you're infuriated. We have to learn to treat each other better again. I know. This isn't the first time in history that we have been divided as a nation. This isn't the first time that, we had a civil war. That was pretty severe. However, hopefully, the way we avoid that kind of conflict again is through the understanding that we are one nation and that we can have differing opinions. The idea of the state system was that you could have different systems in different states, all united by our ability to be defended by a federal government. The inability to get along with each other, the inability to recognize when someone is being divisive and trying to separate you from the rest of humanity, in this case, the American citizenship, trying to divide it. Take a step back and look at what you're saying. Don't react angrily. Don't get mad because someone else doesn't agree with you. I know there are things that you'll never agree with other people about. Always abortion. Always Second Amendment rights. Okay, you're not going to agree with them. Does that make them evil? Misled. You can believe that someone can be misled without being evil, can't you? I don't get it. You would walk away from a friend because they have a different political belief than you. You'd be derogatory to a person who aligns with a different party than you do. I'm not talking about picking at friends or, the thing that we all do with loved ones and close friends, where you pick at each other and enjoy that kind of banter. I'm talking about meanness. I'm talking about condescending to somebody. There's no need for rudeness because someone else has a different political belief than you or different religious belief than you. As long as rights are not being trampled, it is just as wrong to be angry about someone else's religious views as it is for them to be angry about yours. Believe it or not, I'm in a good mood. I just wanted to get that off my chest this morning. It's unconscionable, the direction that our country is going as a whole. The anger from the left, the rejoicing of people losing their jobs in the federal government on the right. It's something that I hate to see. It's something that hurts people right to their soul, and they may not even know that it's hurting them. And by that I mean the person that's being so vindictive and so ugly, that's the person that's being hurt the most. And I'm not sure that they can see that. One of my basic tenets is one of the things that I try to do as often as I can. The person who considers me their enemy, their adversary, however, whatever word you want to use, I try to do something good for that person. It's hard to do that in the beginning of the habit. It's very difficult to do that in the beginning of the habit. But you establish a habit, it becomes easier. So, when someone slights me, when someone is angry with me, when someone doesn't like me, I try to go out of my way and anonymously do something nice for that person. They'll never know. It does me more good than it will ever do the other person. That's something that's hard to accept. It's something to wrap our minds around. It was difficult for me to do the first time. I did this at the behest of I did this at the behest of a friend who suggested I try it because there was so much anger in me. And I did it. And it actually made me more angry the first time I did it. The second time I did it, I kind of took a different point of view. And I thought to myself, okay, I'm doing this. I have to do this in the right spirit, in the right state of mind. I have to give of myself in the right. It's difficult. No one said life was going to be easy. Giving of yourself to someone who dislikes you is a difficult thing to do. Christianity, love thy enemy. There's another tenet in Judaism, which I'm not sure of. There are some religions that absolutely don't go for this. But there are many that do. Try it. Don't try it just once. Try it a few times. You start looking at people differently. You start seeing that person that disagrees with you, that doesn't like you, in a different light. You start seeing them as someone who is a fellow human being who can either lead you to enlightenment or has gone astray from enlightenment. Either way, it's a learning tool for you, for me, in this case. Someone's bad to me. Someone does me a disservice. What can I take away from that? I can be mad at that person. I can get angry at that person. I can be infuriated at that person. Or I can learn from that person. Every situation is an opportunity to learn about life, about specific situations, or about yourself. I'm sorry. Didn't hurt me a bit. I said it. There's nothing to it. This is a rambling episode this morning. It's 3 words, 1 conjunction. I am sorry. I apologize. There's 2 words. I'm not apologizing to anybody. No, don't have to. Again, I think if you owe someone an apology, you're in debt. You're hurting yourself more than them. Someone owes you an apology and they don't give it to you. Do you demand it? Do you pull out a gun and force them to give you an apology? No, because an empty apology doesn't mean anything. So, you walk away. And when you walk away, that person is left with a debt. It's not hard. It's a habit. You've gotten into the habit of not being able to apologize. You've gotten into the habit of being in debt to others. An emotional debt is so much more heavy than a financial debt. An emotional debt can pull you down in life. It's once you establish a good habit, life gets easier. When you establish bad habits, life is difficult. We can agree to disagree. We can apologize when we need to apologize. It is so simple, and it is so blatant and right there. Oh, we disagree. We're allowed to disagree. You're not hurting anybody? Carry on. If you're hurting anybody, if you're hurting somebody, everybody has a duty to stop you from hurting other people. It's just the way it is. But if you're not hurting anybody, if you're not stepping on anybody's rights, have a good day. Sleep with who you want to sleep, as long as they, agree to it. Do what you got to do. Don't hurt people. Don't step on other people's rights. Have good coffee. Speaking of coffee, there is again, for lack of a better word, podcast that I watch on YouTube. His name is James Hoffman. And I enjoy his podcast. It's about coffee. So if you ever want to learn about coffee, do a search for James Hoffman Coffee on YouTube. Everything you ever wanted to know. This man does just everything that you need to know about coffee. I know more about coffee from this guy than I'll ever use because my taste is not as discerning as his. And I had to accept that early on, but I still find his videos very entertaining. Anyway, at the end of every one of his videos, he says, he thanks the audience and he says, and I hope you have a great day. And yesterday I was watching his video. This one kind of ended a little silly, and it hit me. I'm copying his endings. Mr. Hoffman, I apologize for stealing your ending. I don't know if I'm going to be able to stop because you are such an awesome producer of videos, and I have been watching you for a while now, and I really enjoy the videos. Just try it. If you're a coffee fan, check his videos out. He'll teach you more about coffee than I'll ever learn in my life. But I stole his ending. I didn't know I did, but I did. Some people call it parallel thinking. Nah, I just, in the back of my mind, I liked his ending, which was something about having a good cup of coffee and a great day. And that's pretty much what I've been saying since I started this. And I apologize. Again, I was in debt to Mr. Hoffman, so I apologized. Thank you, Mr. Hoffman. I relieve myself of this debt. That's how apologies work. When you owe someone an apology, they cannot extract the debt from you. You have to give it freely. I apologize. And I didn't know I was doing it. I'm not going to stop, more than likely, but I'm giving you credit right now. I'm stealing your ending. I hope you have a good cup of coffee, and I hope you have a great day. Until next time.